The suspected ritual activities, the following items were also recovered. One wooden coffin with a live cat inside it, one clay pot, one woman bra, different kind of assorted charms were all recovered in the scene. The suspects are cooperating with the investigation. They have revealed that
the man is a pastor or is a native doctor?
I would say he's a prophet.
Okay.
So that's
okay. What were you doing with him?
Okay, like we stay together and I fellowship in the church together.
Fellowship in the church?
I say I don't know about the casket. Now, though he said that he bought casket, because we asked him when he brought that casket to the house. They asked him, "What are you going to do?" They asked him when he brought those casket to the house, "What are you going to do with this casket?" He said he want to use it for work. So me now, I'm a follower.
May 29th, 2022 started like every other quiet day in Benin City. But what police officers would soon discover inside a small house along Okumbawa Street, Iwebi, off Airport Road, would shock even experienced investigators. According to police report, it was around 2:30 in the afternoon when authorities received urgent intelligence from residents in the area. The report was disturbing. Some young men were allegedly preparing to carry out a ritual ceremony that would involve human sacrifice. The information sounded serious enough that officers could not ignore it. Immediately, police operatives from the command's crack unit were mobilized to the location. Leading the team was the unit commander, accompanied by several armed officers. Within minutes, their patrol vehicles arrived quietly in the neighborhood. Residents watched from a distance as the officers surrounded a small compound suspected to be the center of the strange activities. When the police entered the building, they reportedly discovered items that deepened the suspicion. Inside the house was a wooden coffin, but what made the discovery even stranger was what officers found inside the coffin. There was a live cat locked inside it, and these young men called themselves men of God. The officers, who recovered a clay pot, native chalk, charms, and several ritual materials scattered around the room. According to investigators, these items are often associated with traditional ritual practices. Two young men who were inside the compound at the time were immediately arrested. They were identified as 22-year-old Daniel Ogure and 24-year-old Oboko Mavis. Both men were said to be originally from Delta State but had been living in Benin City for some time. However, investigators soon discovered that the house did not belong to either of them. The property allegedly belonged to a man known in the area as a pastor or prophet. His name was Itobo Magalus. But when the police arrived at the compound, the supposed pastor was nowhere to be found, and according to report, he jumped through the back fence of the house. Authorities say he had already disappeared before the raid began. Police believe he may have been tipped off. During a briefing with journalists shortly after the arrest, the police spokesperson at the time, Superintendent Chidi Nwambuzo, confirmed the operation. He explained that officers had acted quickly after receiving credible intelligence from members of the public. According to him, the investigation at the scene revealed several suspicious items believed to be connected to ritual practices, and the two suspects arrested were already cooperating with investigators. But the biggest question remained unanswered. What exactly were they planning to do with a coffin, charms, and a live animal? During initial questioning, one of the suspects claimed he knew very little about what was happening. The young man described himself as nothing more than a follower and errand boy. He told police he had been staying in the pastor's house for only a few months. According to him, his duties were simple: sweeping the compound, running errands, attending church services, and sometimes going out for evangelism with the pastor. He said he believed the house was simply a place of prayer and fasting. The suspect also revealed that the pastor frequently organized spiritual retreats. Sometimes they would travel to quiet places or nearby hills where members would fast and pray for days. Because of that, he claimed he never suspected anything unusual, but his story became more complicated when investigators asked about the coffin found inside the house. The suspect admitted that he had seen the coffin before. However, he said the pastor told him it was meant for spiritual work. He claimed he did not ask further questions. According to him, the day police arrested them, he had been inside the pastor's car while they were heading back to the house. That was when officers suddenly blocked the road and stopped them. During the search that followed, police allegedly discovered the suspicious items and immediately placed them under arrest. The suspect insisted he had no knowledge of any plan to harm anyone, but investigators were not fully convinced. The presence of ritual objects combined with the coffin and charms found at the scene raised serious concern. Authorities began to suspect that the house may have been used as a ritual preparation center. Some residents in the neighborhood later told reporters they had occasionally noticed strange activities around the compound. They said visitors often came late at night and sometimes loud chanting or prayers could be heard coming from inside the building. However, most neighbors admitted they never imagined something this serious could be happening behind those walls. Meanwhile, police intensified their search for the missing pastor. Investigators described him as a prime suspect in the case. They believed he could provide crucial answers about the purpose of the ritual materials found in the house. Officers also began examining the recovered object more closely. Among the items were traditional ritual substances, pieces of cloth believed to be used in spiritual ceremonies, and other materials investigators suspected were connected to money-making rituals. Police sources later revealed that during interrogation, the arrested suspect admitted that the ritual activity was allegedly intended for quick wealth. If true, it would not be the first time authorities in Nigeria uncovered cases where individuals attempted dangerous rituals in hopes of gaining sudden riches. The two suspects remained in police custody as investigations continued. Authorities also urged members of the public to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities in their communities, because in this case it was the information provided by residents that helped people stop what could have turned into a much darker incident. Meanwhile, the search for the fleeing pastor continued, and until he is found, the full truth behind what was happening inside that house on Okumbawa Street may remain a mystery. But one thing is certain: if the police had not acted quickly that afternoon in May, the outcome of this story might have been far more tragic. Be wise and stay vigilant, because not all pastors out there are real men of God.
I was arrested in the road for when they went to my pastor's house, where I also live. I was arrested in the road when they saw the casket in the pastor's house, so they took me to the police station.
Is the man a pastor or is a native doctor?
I would say he's a prophet.
Okay.
So that's.
Okay. What were you doing with him?
Okay, like we stay together and I fellowship in the church together.
Fellowship in the church?
Yes, we are together in the church. According to the way in the house and the way we pray and other things. So all these other things, according to, they said it's for work. Maybe they want to do spiritual work, but we do pray and they do fast and they do go to a mountain to fast and pray, and they do fasting almost all the time.
They arrested me on the way inside my pastor's car when we were going to his house. So although we saw them with a casket, I was like, they blocked us with casket, though I don't know. So when they blocked us, they arrested us here. They were asking me questions, what happened? I said, I don't know about the casket. Though he said that he bought casket, because we asked him when he brought that casket to the house. They asked him, what are you going to do? They asked him when he brought those casket to the house, what are you going to do with this casket? He said he want to use it for work. So me now, I'm a follower. I'm just like a boy, a messenger rather, an errand boy that they normally send message, maybe to sweep, to mop, or go to church and stay, sleep in church and go home, and to go for evangelism and all of that. I'm just a young boy that they just picked not up to 6 to 8 months. So I don't know, I don't really know deep about anything until they go to his house and they see all these things. That is the only thing I was surprised to see, that they brought all these things.